hello, and welcome everybody to Equinox. Now, the problem is, can everybody hear me? Can everybody see me? Yes, I believe so. I hope so. How is everyone today? You're doing fantastic. I'll open that to floor. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Equinox. Session 2, a homebrew game starring these lovely people. We are down a few people this week, which is fine. Happy birthday to the Steve man, because it is apparently his birthday today, and we can't wait to have him with us, I believe, as early as next week, so we will see. If you like what we do, hit the follow button. If you are not already subscribed, if you would like to, are financially capable of doing so, please hit the subscribe button. We would love to have you here as part of our little spooky community. What else? If you want to catch up on last week's stream and find out what shenanigans the group got up to, you can do so over on my YouTube channel of the same name, Boomeadow. But other than that, I think that's everything, isn't it? Any information from the floor? Any stories? Anything you want to share? Don't know. I was about to say, don't all speak at once. Congratulations, always a... Oh, good. Always wonderful to hear. Nothing interesting? Okay, well that's always a good thing to handle, etc., etc. So, what about you, Rosewood? What have you been up to? That dealt with that. Of your storefronts. Just bear with me 1 second, guys. I will be right back. I apologize for this. One moment. Okay, I am back. I apologize, everybody. Sorry, I have kids, so just needed to run off and... You filled the void? Cool. Also, some changes to the stream. You've probably noticed we have a character scroll. So now everyone knows exactly what you guys are rolling with in terms of the stats. Which will surprise everyone that surprise or not surprise anyone that clearly No, we can't put a censor bar over that. Clearly, Wicked is one of the more competent characters, though. Apparently, the not as squishy, not as Warlock's not too bad either. For the sake of Warlock, well, have to give some kudos to Clint because he always rolls bad, so he actually rolled rather well. Hey, look, there you go. There's an 8 strength. Don't feel too bad. Possibly. Which is? Oh, wait, before we do that, do you guys want to do a recap for last week or just leave it to the wild unknown? Oh, okay. Who would like to do the recap? Remember, whoever does the recap gets inspiration for the session. Recon. Well, Recon is sussing out what is happening. If your train gets hit, then it gets hit. If it doesn't get hit, it doesn't get hit, and you learn nothing. You lose. Yeah. Okay, well that doesn't surprise. Give me a second. Why can't it hear you? It should be able to hear you. Oh, for God's sake. 13 minutes of absolute nothing. That's great. Why? Oh, for goodness sake. Let's try this. How's that? Can everybody hear you guys now? Try talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Excellent. Yeah, alrighty.
I might have to turn you down a little bit, though. There we go. We apologise for the 13 minutes of dead air. Love that for us.
That wasn't the whole time, but...
No, I think it was, because, yeah. Okay, well, here we are. Stuff happened. Should we just go with that?
Well, let's just go forward. I'm not doing the recap again. I was done.
No, that's absolutely fine. So, with that, after 13 minutes of dead air, apology, me talking to myself, because they could hear me at least, so that's fine. They heard the intro and everything, so that's good. However, so are you guys ready to jump in to tonight's session?
Yep, I'm putting it on record though. I'm still taking the inspiration.
You may have the inspiration. You still did it. Okay, are you ready?
Absolutely. Let's get in there.
Okay. So, I apologise for any noise you hear in the background because apparently Instagram is more important. My husband is watching Instagram very loudly, clearly. I'm about to go yell at him. Give me one moment.
I guess pseudo recap then. I assume we're right at when Warlock got hit by a fucking train. Either that or we've taken him to a mechanic. Because in the last episode, if everyone recalls, Warlock was gunning it to beat a train.
Yep,
The
gunning it to
three
beat
of
a
us
train.
failed out.
Okay,
Trying to
so
pull a movie move and
movie
lost.
move, and you guys did real bad. It ended up with at least 2 of you needing to be patched up, and somebody going to the repair shop. So, with that,
I did excellently, I want to say. I rolled a nat 20 on my acrobatics to get out of that fucking car.
okay.
It was good.
So, with that, we'll get started. Good evening, Moonblight. I'm Misty Challenger, and it's 5 p.m, and you're listening to the latest news. The Town Guard is continuing to investigate a series of robberies in the Educators District. 3 residences of notable arcane scholars have been targeted in what guards are saying appear to be calculated attacks. All 3 residences appear to be ransacked, but nothing has been reported missing. Luckily, none of the victims were home and are unharmed. Scholars in the community continue to speculate on the nature of the targets of the attacks, citing that the victims are all employed in the ancient linguistics department. However, popular media sources over on Sprigtalk allege that there are more sinister conspiracies afoot. Inquisitors are asking for anyone who may have seen anything suspicious to please come forward or contact the detectives on Nave Stoppers. A cabal of dock workers has been arrested after the investigation into allegations of the illegal importation and distribution of a rare breed of crustacean from Anthalamir. Investigators uncovered and confiscated a large haul of nearly 200 viperpus crabs, thought to be worth 300 platinum. The ring have been apprehended and will face court in 3 weeks' time. Meanwhile, the crabs have been returned to the proper authorities on the Anthalamirian side of the rift. Guards are on the lookout for anyone with information on an alleged terrorist attack. A supply train bound for Termina was viciously attacked as it was leaving the train yards, leaving behind broken lights and metal at the scene. 3 individuals were seen fleeing the scene of the crime, 2 male and 1 female, as they damaged the train and returned to their vehicle, a purple van. It is suspected to be the work of a splinter cell known as the Trash Bandits, though their motivations are as yet unknown. If there are any witnesses or any information, please contact Nave Stoppers. Evening showers threaten to mar another beautifully muggy day, dropping as low as 21 degrees overnight. Temperatures will rise into the 30s and thunderstorms threaten to carry over well into the morning, looking to clear around lunchtime. And finally, tonight is the opening show of the famed oracle Aricia Cassandra. If you want to be amazed and enthralled, book your tickets at the White Fox Cabaret today. Your destiny awaits. For more news, entertainment, weather and traffic updates, please follow us on Facebook, Hex and Hextagram. Otherwise, join me for the news at 9. I'm Mr. Challenger for 606.9 PMB, home of your local news.
Alright, boys, we're terrorists.
So, yeah.
It took 1 session and we've become domestic terrorists. I expected no less.
You have done very well. I'm very impressed.
I was listening intently because I'm like taking notes of that as well, and I'm like, oh, terrorist attack, Jesus Christ! And then I realized it was us, and I'm like, oh.
Like, oh no, did we miss our train? Nope, we definitely did not miss our train.
Oh my god, can you imagine if we're reconning the train, we see the front of the train just has purple paint scuffed along.
I did wonder if you would enjoy that, because I'm like, as it goes along, obviously the news input is designed to basically give rise to your exploits, like bards and whatnot. But not a lot of stuff happened, and I'm like, no, I've got to throw this one in of something that may or may not be you guys. So...
May or may not. Was and is.
Was and is.
No.
Which...
Now, as far as anyone's concerned, may or may not.
I know, it's all alleged. However, as the 3 of you are waiting in a nearby cafe, you have dropped Warlock off at a crash repairers as you guys have made your way to, where is the cafe is down here. Clearly I didn't put a lot in. Yeah, chances are you've just stopped off at a local kind of coffee spot, just like a little street stall with coffees in your hands as you overhear the news report at 5 p.m. over the vendor's radio. You do notice that the news report does not give any indication of any of your descriptions, barring warlocks. So, at this stage, maybe you're in the clear.
I don't think anyone at headquarters knows that he can turn into a van yet.
Damn terrorists are a scourge on our society.
The coffee shop owner, a hair and gone goes, here, and it kind of, turns back to steam some more milk.
Here.
Wicked, you have your exceedingly cream-top dusted pumpkin spice latte.
Yes.
It looks very festive, although you're fairly certain Purgatory and Moonblight does not have a season known as fall. It's always muggy. It's always gross. But
She's
apparently,
a
pumpkin spice latte is a staple.
He's clutching it tightly and is very distressed hearing the news.
Just hearing things that are going to be a problem later.
Yeah. It's like, God damn it, Lily's gonna kill us if she finds out.
Oh, I'm surprised it took this long.
What does Habaru drink?
What does Habaru drink? Oh, okay.
Habaru,
He's
I'm
sitting with you
sorry.
guys, just head in his hands, just.
He just has a tall cup of depression. Is that what he has?
Yeah, I guess so. That sounds about right.
Just head in his hands, just seething.
You are realizing that the workers at Cyber Circus, given obviously Warlock's nature as a clockwork automaton, he did stop in at the splicer / body modder to actually kind of fix him up a bit. But obviously Kiva, who looks very capable to you guys, she is a Nethreg human, which means she has a lot of cybernetic augmentation to her body. She took one look at poor Warlock and told you that it would probably be a little bit of time, easily until the next morning. So this is Kiva. She has dark hair, big glasses.
Oh.
So as she kind of looks at you, you can hear the whirring of her cybernetics and whatnot as she is passing her tablet over Warlock's scuffed up body. He's still looking like a van at the moment, but every now and then he kind of makes where his engine would be makes a strange whirring clunk sound, like chugga 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 chugga. And Warlock kind of gives an indication he should not sound like that. So Kiva has told you that he will be ready to be picked up in the morning, as she is capable of working on about 2 hours of sleep a day thanks to her augmentations. Because you know what they say, no rest for the wicked, she says, raising an eyebrow.
Hey.
So, that does indeed leave the three of you a whole heap of time until your departure at 9 a.m. over at the Union for Favourable Aquatic Transport. I have made a few little changes to the map if you have seen. I put the writing over the monorail and things like that for you. as
It's looking
indicated.
fantastic.
Yes. There are a couple of little markers on there. The first being Roy Rick's Bits and Tricks, which was where Warlock's GPS had been reset, and that's where he had been heading before his untimely smashing into
It
a
was
train.
timely.
I feel so bad because it must have looked like I was really targeting Clint last week between Warlock smashing into a train and Hudson Hawk tragically passing.
I'm a firm believer that Clint had targeted Clint through his actions, which is more than fine.
So
His character, he can do what he desires.
exactly. So, and I believe it has been organised that you have rooms at the Blue Moon Tavern over in the Harbour District. Although you are now down one vehicle for the evening, so you are welcome to catch a monorail, catch a essentially the equivalent of an Uber. I don't think we actually renamed that, did we, Rosewood? The Uber service?
No.
No. I did keep it originally as Twitter, but then obviously they've changed, so it's why it's Hex and Hextagram now. Twitter, formerly known as Hex, formerly known as Twitter. However, so you have a number of monorails you could catch. You could catch an Uber. You could walk, though it's not recommended, because that will take you several hours to get to the Harbour District. To at least, because it'll take you at least 2 hours to get to the innermost circle, and you could realistically take the back causeway from the Inquisitorial headquarters, which you are permitted to enter as one of the squads, which is a bit of a shortcut if you would like. So it is up to you where you would like to go, what you would like to do.
Well, the question is, gang, do we want to... We're kind of pressed because we can't leave without Warlock for the train, so we've got to fill time this evening. So do we want to be productive, or do we want to not be productive?
Depends on how we would be productive.
We could maybe read about, I guess, what's going on.
It's
I don't know.
almost like there have been 2 crimes that have happened in town.
Yeah, there's crimes that have been happening in town we could go, like, investigate.
As-
We've got,
as an
there's robberies in the academic district, right? We could go
Yep.
check that out.
Yep,
Which I don't know which one the academic district is.
the academic district is the centermost circle here. So you've got the very centermost circle, which is obviously the administration, the High Inquisitor's residence, and high-placed nobles within the Inquisitorial squad. And then that next circle in where the White Fox Cabaret is, directly behind the White Fox Cabaret, you've got the Carpe Librum Athenaeum, which is a library, as well as the Scarlet Magisterium, which is a giant mages college, focusing mostly on illusion, abjuration, transmutation, and I know there's one more, enchantment. Sorry. I apologize.
And so it said in the news report that it was targeted at ancient linguistic
Yes.
things, which one specifically would... So obviously it wouldn't be the medic, like the, not the medic, but you know, the MD.
No, that is the doctor's clinic. So
Yeah, I know,
hospital.
so like I'm
doctor's
trying to figure out of the things that are named in that district, what would be the likely starting point.
clinic.
I assume this is where we're going, team. Do we want to investigate this thing tonight?
What would you like? Would you like to deal with crabs?
Or were the crabs dealt with?
They had said they'd been arrested, but
And the crabs had been returned to the authorities over the other side of the rift, I thought.
that is true.
Or are they
yes.
lingering crabs?
You never know. There might have been
Is there
some.
a crab outbreak in Moonlight?
Who knows? I mean, no one likes the idea of viper pus crabs. Let's be honest.
That sounds pretty bad. I gotta tell you. I like the idea of investigating a lot more than dealing with viper pus crabs. Because I suspect the injuries sustained from a viper pus crab will not be favourable to us.
Yeah. The viper pus crab mafia is nothing to mess with.
Nothing to
Better
sneeze
leave this
at.
to professionals.
Alright, I reckon if
Okay.
you're in Andrew, we'll go to the library and investigate this fucking
Yeah.
thieving crime.
Sure.
Habaru just broods in the corner.
You
Let's-
doing good, Habaru? You doing all right?
Yeah. I'm fine. Just
Where the hell are we? Oh, we're there. Oh crap, we're gonna want a monorail.
Yeah.
Like so bad. How do I know where the stations are on the monorail?
They're wherever is convenient.
Okay, excellent. Alright, so we're gonna get on the cybernetic circus station.
Yeah,
Get
basically.
off directly at the library. Perfect.
Yeah, but logistically there would be one directly behind the White Fox Cabaret as an entertainment district, but also directly in
Yeah.
line with the library. It makes sense.
Look, I'm not questioning it. I much prefer that it's convenient as well.
Exactly.
It sounds really good to me.
Which, incidentally, there is actually a monorail that you can get on directly at the Cyber Circus stop there, and where it crosses over the main road there, and arc all the way around in the S-shaped pattern behind the White Fox Cabaret. So it actually works out for you. So you get onto the monorail. You pay the obligatory 5 copper.
5 copper or 1?
No, no, we're not doing this
No.
today. We're not doing it.
Right. How filthy is the monorail?
Well,
Like
it's
any other public transport?
It's about 5 p.m, so it's still reasonably well swept out for the day. It hasn't started the nightlife cycle, basically, where people are doing the worm down the aisle, vomiting into bags, various other things.
Okay, I was gonna say, if people are only doing the worm, it's a good day. I was expecting more of the vomiting in the bags and pissing on the side of the chairs and shit.
That does occasionally happen.
Alright. Occasionally, like per hour? Or
Yeah, every 15 minutes or so.
every 15 minutes or so?
I mean, there is the benefit here that there are very small automatons that do trail around the floor of the monorails, cleaning them out. Every now and then, one does fall to its plummeting death when its sensors don't pick up the edge of the door at a stop.
It's just facts of life, really, isn't it?
Pretty much. For some context here, for those who know what this is, these are like an upgraded version of an Akka.
They're like a 40,000 year better Akka.
They're smaller. They've got wheels. They're a more compact unit. They're roughly the size of a computer mouse.
They're like a little Roomba.
Yeah, basically.
Excellent.
Except if you take them apart in the center, they have miniaturized black holes at the center of them.
Oh, so they must be fucking heavy.
Yes. So when they
Alright.
fall, it is a significant
That's bad. It's
poof
an event.
at the bottom. Yeah.
If it falls on you, you just fucking die.
Yeah, pretty much.
Why did they build this monorail on top of people's homes?
Because it's
Hell,
it's
yeah.
hell.
It is hell, I suppose.
If
They're
it falls
already-
just right.
I mean, they're already dead. A lot of the people here are already dead.
What are they gonna do?
If it
Sue?
falls,
Die
if it falls
again.
on top of you if it falls on top of you just right, there's no splatter or nothing. You just disappear.
I
You
mean,
just get sent to the void.
I mean,
You go into the black hole. Do any of them live and you can just see on the streets little vacuums rolling about?
yeah, they survived the fall.
Okay, they're built.
Ford tough,
The
yeah.
build quality's high. Alright.
They're built Ford tough,
They
yeah.
don't fall to their doom.
They're built forward tough. Did you just insert like fucking advertising into the stream?
Not
unpaid
intentionally.
for?
Not intentionally.
Hmm.
So with that, you get onto the monorail. You pay your 5 copper, or in Richard's case, half an electrum.
I want you to know he only deals in Electrum.
No,
His
he
wallet's
does not.
Full of Electrum.
I'm not doing this with you. I will not fight you on this one, Kevin.
Yeah, you won't
Also, I
fight me.
think
I deal in Electrum.
God's sake.
Also, I think it's a tenth of an electron.
Yeah, something like
I've
that.
become ungovernable.
We'll see.
That's my strategy.
We're gonna become unalive here real quick if you continue that shit.
Yeah, I probably will.
Yeah, but
That's the goal.
What makes you
It's
think he
when
won't
does
just
the DM
create?
snap?
Yeah, but what makes you think that he won't just create a new character that's literally made of Electrum just to make prove
I
a
was
point?
gonna say my holistically created Electrum character is coming.
My God. Anyway, so eventually you climb down the staircase. Not climb down the staircase. Why would you do that? It's a travelator. You ride the travelator down to the ground floor. The road level, and you can hear the siren's cry of music coming from the White Fox Cabaret behind you as you lay eyes on the large dark grey building. It is set apart from the large townhouses around this area. The inner district, the Scholars District, you do know they are definitely wealthier and more spread out than the other areas of Moonblight. While it still has all of the neon advertising billboards everywhere, the bright orange lights of the strip lighting along the roadsides, the houses actually have things like gardens and trees overgrowing them. It's more of a solar punk vibe in this inner district, if you know what that is. So it's a bit more nature-based. It's definitely greener in here. Citizens who are living in this area do breathe significantly better than when they start venturing out into the lower districts. Especially because the Scarlet Magisterium does activate wards to make sure that none of the smog and whatnot from the outer districts makes its way into these living areas to affect the people that live here. The library does have a large green painted roof. You can see that it is inlaid with gold moulding that does seem to catch the fading sunlight of this area as you make your way towards the towering staircase leading up into the library. How many of you have actually been to a library before? This library, should I say? Not a library, I assume you're more educated than that.
You assume poorly.
Probably once or twice, Hubbard would have visited here just to check some books on like local entertainment, and also as something his mentor would taught him would be to respect libraries because they have a great source of stories to build upon.
Yeah.
I've been to the library several times. However, I have been knocked back for a library card even more times.
That concerns me.
It's just like my driver's license, alright?
Wicked has come here a few times to read the children's picture books.
Okay, so
And sometimes,
Love that for her.
sometimes look up the local flora.
the local flora. Okay, so as you make your way in to the main central floor here, there are library stacks all set around the outside circle area, leading into this central area where there is a large round desk where you see two individuals working behind it. For those of you who have been, well, Kevin probably has the most to do with them, having come in here and applied several times for a library card. And upon seeing you, one of the librarians fixes you in her glare, and you watch as her shoulders straighten and eyebrow raises. She has quite dusky skin. You can see that she's got reflective red glasses on. She has very mildly pointed ears, and you can see, though, that her large spiked tail, very similar to an irate cat, is swishing back and forth behind her seat as she fixes you with her smile, which is not at all friendly. Hello, Richard, you're back again.
Absolutely.
So-
Not here for a library card this time, Gertrude, though.
Gertrude? Her name's Lunar, by the way. Lunar Lawless.
I know, but I call her Gertrude because we're that close.
Well, I'm pleased to see you're not applying for a library card. After the first 4, we had to start saying no.
Well, we're here to look into the string of robberies we've heard so much about over the radio.
Oh. Yeah, I heard about them too.
Do you have any idea where they were?
They were down by the Scarlet Magisterium. I assume they work in the linguistics department there, trying to translate ancient texts and things like that. We see a number of them in here, but I don't know exactly who it was and whatnot. You'd have to go down and speak to the archivist down there, but it's just weird. After all, everyone knows that librarians and archivists, all we've got are books. Lots and lots of books. And linguists? Well, not a lot of people are going to be doing a lot of their reading unless, they're well versed in ancient Avanian languages and whatnot.
Gotta be looking for something specific, I guess.
I mean, I would assume so. By the way, I'm Lunar. You are? She holds out a hand.
Oh, hi. Yeah, I guess I don't really talk to the front desk very much. I'm Molly.
Oh, nice to meet you, Molly.
Yeah, I've come in a few times to read a few stories. Anyway.
Do you have a particular preference? Fiction, non-fiction, history, fantasy?
Little fables, fantasy's cool.
What about romantasy?
Bit of a guilty pleasure sometimes, but...
I know exactly what you mean. I'm sorry, but The Glass Wolf is one of my all-time favorites. Star-crossed lovers separated by fate. I can't even imagine it, to be honest. And, I've met my fair share of necromancers and things like that, but the idea that love can exist beyond even death.
Are you the Glass Wolf? Are you referring to Roland the Bowman?
I mean, I know that there's a reference to Roland the Bowman in some of the history books and whatnot. He was a religious figure, wasn't he? Travelled around with the goddess of chaos and whatnot.
Yeah. One of his big motifs was he was very much wolf-themed himself.
I mean, unless he had a whirlwind romance that existed beyond death, then I would say it's purely somebody's fan fiction of the historical figure. Maybe a self-insert or some kind of, fan fiction, imagining themselves being rescued by a charming rake from the past.
Ooh, do you know this smaller series, the Night Scale? Oh,
the Night Scale.
Riveting tale of two people finding themselves in the mix of this twisted man's games and finding their own love in the shattered psyches that he's left them with. Oh, it's so good.
Oh, I do love me some dark romance. It's absolutely wonderful. Just the quiet moment where Andrew's like, "You're not turning me into a romance character, don't you dare!"
I'm seething right now, both in game and IRL. Okay. Hi, I'm Habaru Rescue Curious. Hello.
Gesundheit.
Your name sounds like a sneeze. That was in character.
Hello,
by the way,
Urians.
just
Thank
out of
you for
character.
writing
That was
again.
definitely in character.
It's wonderful to have you here again. Thank you for writing.
Yay, more folks.
Yay! We love having you here. Welcome. I hope your stream went well. Haha. I mean, chances are they're probably dealing with ancient languages. We're getting there. We are having we hope we're having a good game. We had some technical difficulties at the start, but we got here in the end. So, no, that is all right. Go get some sleep, Urians. 4 a.m., that is wild. Ain't that right, Rosewood and Dusty?
Mm-hmm.
Andrew's so salty. I'm sorry, Andrew. It's the perfect... It's a perfect love story. Texas time. Thank you. I hope you have a wonderful sleep, Urians. So, yes. Chances are you would need to speak to some of the heads of the linguistics department down there, see if they're willing to give you some input into exactly who might have been targeted. I mean, linguistics could be anything from religious texts, it could be technical manuals. I know that there is a number of artifact creators, magicians, mages, cult leaders, and the like. All of those stories are ancient, before the Starfall, and some of those languages have been lost. So...
Look into lost languages. Thank you for that.
Oh, you're very, very welcome. If you're interested, we do have a book club every Fires Day. If you want to come and join us for reading a book, this week we're reading about The Threads of Destiny. It's a fantasy story about a pair of vampires who are trying to overcome all odds to destroy vampires and free the world from the vampiric scourge.
Ooh, controversial.
I know. We do love a bit of the spicy text and seeing what's out there. Those who would like to push the envelope. You know, we have a writer here who stops by occasionally, who likes trying to break all of the writing rules and things like that. Like, he turned around and was told, one of his stories, he was told very early on that you can't put steamy scenes in the first chapter of your book. Well, he went, well, I'm going to start my book with one. So, and that book has done reasonably well. So, highly recommend.
All right, I'll definitely have to check out this book club.
Well,
I won't make any commitments right now. My job is a little unstable schedule, but
I think I recognize you from from Hextagram. You're one of the inquisitorial influencers, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
I saw your post the other week. Is this your new squad that you've been teamed up with?
Yeah. One is a little under the weather at the moment, so I'm not here.
I imagine they probably are. Adventuring is a dangerous business. This is why, I'm here with the books. The most you're gonna have to deal with is a paper cut.
Mm-hmm. Yep, adventuring. Yep. Okay, well, thank you so much for the information. We'll be going now.
Oh, all right.
Richard? Oh. Come on. She's gonna, sort of grab him by, the scruff of his collar.
You can see that he's got a book in his hands. What book in the pop-up section are you reading, Richard? What's the center pop-up that you're currently looking at?
Unfortunately, we never got to the bit, but I was going to say that I didn't browse any because they're too scary.
Oh,
They come right at you. But let's say it's a guide on, like a children's guide to animals in the area.
As you pull him away, he opens it up and a large owlbear jumps off the page.
Throw it to the ground and scream.
oh, come on. All right, she's gonna mage hand it onto the counter for her. Like, I'm not gonna try to put that back. All right. You have a good day.
Have a great day. Good luck.
Thank you. All right.
Okay, you find yourself back out on the street.
What she
All right.
said.
The Scarlet Magisterium,
Yep.
in that general area, which is on the other side of the ring.
That's great for my notes. I wrote the Scarlet something. Excellent. All right. I guess we monorail down there.
Okay.
Yep.
You monorail your way down to the Scarlet Magisterium. As you exit the monorail this time, you find yourself in front of a large set of white gates. The gates themselves appear to be made, or at least gleaming like gold. Inside you see a towering building, floor upon floor, with multiple large staircases and terraceways. You can hear the rush and flow of the waterfalls that seem to make up a large percentage of the water features in this area. You can hear the quiet hum of voices and you can hear things like chanting, as evening classes have really only just started in the last 30 minutes or so. Where are you guys going to go? I'm assuming you enter the grounds.
Yes. Is there like a guard by the gate?
The gates are not guarded. They don't have anyone
Okay.
standing there telling you can't come in. But as you do enter, you feel a small shiver as you pass through a magical ward that seems to leave you feel like something has been exposed within you.
Molly covers herself up with her arms, like not knowing what this is.
Richard embraces it. Stands like he puffs his chest out a little.
And Habaru ignores it and just continues on with his day.
He just lives his best life. How would we know where the linguistics department is?
Making your way into the main annex and basically wandering around like you don't know where you're going until somebody stops and takes pity on you.
Like, let's just
Very-
ask people, right? Like, I'll
Yeah.
just ask
Very-
any random person passing by, do you know where the linguistics department is?
Okay, so you just
I stop someone and I just go, do you know where the linguistics department is?
tackle somebody.
I'll just stand in front of them as they're walking, and then, you know when, like, normally you try and get out of someone's way and you accidentally get into their way to, like, let them past? I'm just doing that, and then while doing that, asking them.
Okay.
It's very awkwardly forcing them to interact with me.
So, you see that you see a young goblin woman hurrying across the courtyard with dressed in what appear to be voluminous green pants, a green top that's loosely belted around the middle. The sleeves on it are very billowy and come to a tight fit around the wrist. She has gold earrings adorning her large goblin ears. The biggest difference is, instead of appearing to be a green hue, she does tend to be more on the blue side, and she just kind of stops and looks at you. Hello?
Do you know where the linguistics department is?
You watch as she takes one headphone off of her ear.
Damn it.
Sorry? The,
Linguistics department?
Oh, linguistics department, right. Yeah. Yeah, if you go left, right, left.
Left, right, left. Gotcha.
Yeah. So, I mean, unless you just kind of want me to take you, that could also work.
No, I got it.
If you're not busy, that'd be very nice.
Yeah.
I've started walking off already.
Yeah.
You two can be led. I'm gonna fly by the seat of my pants.
She lowers her purple headphones down around her neck. She's got a brown leather bag that she's carrying, as well as a rather thick textbook that seem to be on different types of mushroom and their uses in various uses, basically. Fungi and their uses, essentially. She kind of looks at you, Wicked, as she starts walking along beside you. She only comes up to about your waist, Wicked, so she is on the shorter side for a goblin. So I'm Fizz. I mean, she roves an eye over Habaru and Richard.
Molly
And
does fetch Richard before he continues going the wrong way.
I'm standing. I know where I'm going. I'm just ahead of everyone. Quietly.
Habaru's following the guide.
So, you guys don't exactly look like linguists.
No, we're here on business of those break-ins that have been going on.
Oh,
Actually, no, 4 languages.
I mean, the break-ins? I must have missed that. What happened?
Yeah, apparently some people's places have been broken into and turned upside down. Nothing's been taken, so looks like they're looking for something.
Wow,
And
that's
they've all
wild.
Yeah, all the victims have been members of the linguistics department.
Huh. Personally, I don't think there was anything interesting about the linguistics department, but maybe they do have secrets. So, she roves an eye over you. So, you guys...
I'm Molly, by the way.
Oh! Well,
You
nice...
said your name was Fizz?
Fizz, yeah. So, you're Inquisitors, then?
Yeah.
Yup, we know it.
How do I know her? He does know the Inquisitors are, guards, right? Not people.
Well, roll for insight, boys.
Sorry, can you
Understand
say
if
that
you
again?
know.
He does know that Inquisitors are guards, like, not actual people, right? Well, I mean, they're people, but they're not, like... It's a role,
It's
not a singular person, right?
Gotcha. Yeah. He's working at his own pace. She says as he's literally walking ahead of us.
Right.
I meant-
So, the big guy's not the muscle. It's... the dragon. Got it. I gotta admit, I don't really know how, like, inquisitorial squads work or anything. I just know that, you know, they don't necessarily always approve of, And she kind of holds out the mushroom book.
Ooh. She, like, seems very interested all of a sudden.
Yeah, I kind of study mushrooms, funguses, how to turn them into, like, you know, things like magical inks, poisons, and stuff like that.
Ooh, I've always really liked mushrooms.
between you and me, I make a mean puffball pizza too.
Oh, a puffball pizza. I
Yeah.
never had them in pizza before.
Yeah, if you can find one of the big ones, like one as big as your head, you can make it like a whole pizza crust. What about you,
Oh,
big
that
guy? Do you
sounds-
like, have you tried puffball pizza before? She kind of like drops back a little bit to nudge Habaru.
Once, and it wasn't for me.
Ah, the strong silent type, I see.
Yeah, he seems more the type to sear it.
Sear it. Okay, well, cool. Like, I hope you're gonna do well in your investigation. I mean, do you know who was hit? I mean, I can always ask around and find out.
Oh, that's what we're hoping to-
That's fine. You don't need to do that.
That's
Yeah,
no
but we're just-
trouble.
That's what we're here hoping to learn.
All right. Yeah, I understand. I understand. So, as she's leading you up a staircase, how exactly did you guys get onto the Inquisitors? Like, I hear they're really hard to get onto.
Oh. I was kind of scooped up, really.
By scooped up, I assume you mean like you're one of the influencers. So are you like?
Yeah, I guess you could say I was scouted. I've been doing some I did some just independent venturing for a while, a few years, and I guess one of their what's it? One of their agents caught one of my streams, and
That's really
sort of
that's really amazing. You must have like 50,000 followers. Like, I hear you have to have big numbers for them to even consider you.
wasn't quite that much, but it was more what I was doing in the stream that got their attention.
Oh, what were you doing on this? What were you doing on your stream? You weren't like. Wasn't something like terrible that just got like lots of attention, or.
No, nothing like that. I was charming a few beasts, and I was making a lot of people happy.
I saw a video like that once, but I don't think I would share it in class.
Oh.
Oh.
They saw how well I was able to bring people together, and they saw my magic is quite useful in that regard as well, and I guess they saw something in me.
Oh,
We're
the
happy to be
innuendo's
here.
running through my head. I apologize. I started this and now I can't stop. I blame Kevin.
Oh my.
For God's sake, I apologize. I apologize. So, what about you guys? Do you follow her on like Hexagram and YouTube and things like that?
Yeah. Oh. Sorry about any of your stuff. More professional courtesy.
Yeah, it's more part of the job.
Yeah.
What about you, Goldie? Richard has wandered off to die.
I had to step away for like 2 seconds. I'm sorry. What were we talking about this? We were talking about pizza when I was leaving.
You watch my streams,
and then you
look
watch
at our-
her streams, and then it was
you-
some sort of innuendo.
Do you pay attention to our public image?
Oh, absolutely not. I'm more of a doer. and in the moment kind of person than a public image kind of person.
Yeah, we all
I'm
have
our
our
spiritual
things.
guide.
I don't know about that.
I definitely am.
A spiritual guide.
Yeah, you know, like the. Yeah. Oh, crap.
Like literal spirits, or
No, like with the weave and stuff. I'm a monk.
Aye. Aye. And here I was thinking that you'd studied at like one of the other magic schools. Like the Red Desolation or the Black Neutrino.
No.
Oh. So you like kind of just wave your arms around and stuff and hope for the best.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly how it goes.
it works out better than you'd think. He's been very handy to the team.
I imagine, yeah. Alright, well, here's the linguistics department. You want to add me on Hextagram and maybe, who knows, one day we'll see each other out there in the, greater wide world.
Sure. Also, sure. Let me see. Yeah, my handle is the Wicked Willow.
The Wicked Willow. Oh, it's cool. I'm Green Bean 467.
Green bean. All right. She's not very green, I've noticed.
I mean, has anyone ever, like, misrepresented themselves on the internet?
That is fair.
People would never do that.
Okay, so she drops you outside a department. You see that there is a placard on the wall that says Department of Ancient Linguistics. Even before the door opens, you get just this waft of dust and parchment that seems to wash over you.
Ooh. Smells like the library, but older. Much older. Ooh.
Interestingly, Habaru. Tell me a perception.
Yo.
Ooh.
Perception.
First roll of the night.
Woo woo woo!
Oh boy.
Oh
What a
boy.
precedent to set.
There's something
Oh boy.
something about this place smells oddly familiar, but you can't quite place it. Yeah, you can't quite place it.
You guys smell something? It's kind of like a like drying parchment.
I definitely smell that.
No. There's
You looking for a specific answer, or?
yeah. It's something on the tip of my tongue. I just can't remember.
Nothing specific, no.
Bug me. Yeah. Let's just go. Huh.
So.
Oh.
You enter into the. What?
Yeah, Molly will give a knock, knock, knock.
You hear a voice from within. Hello, the door's open.
Oh, good. So open the door.
Oh. You see that there is a young woman sitting at a felt-lined desk. In front of her are several journals open up. You see that she's got soft white gloves on as she's handling the leather notebooks. She's about 5'9", has quite dusky skin, very curly, dark hair. Her eyes are a bit of a contrast in the fact that they are a gleaming silver, as she kind of glances at you. The attire of her clothes are slightly out of place. There's something vaguely for you, Wicked, who does follow a few brands and stuff. You know that the style comes from Anthalamir. It is usually attributed to the ancient Fire Realm styles. You do know that a few of the designers now do reside in Faerweir in the Summer Courts. But yeah, she's got this very loose white linen shirt on, but you can see that her overrobe, which is like a dark brown, has gold filigree embroidery at the waist. You can see that it's got golden ribbons down the front, and it's got quite a stiff, very short collar, but a very stiff collar, as she's got strings and strings of what appear to be turquoise beads around her neck.
Ooh, hello. Oh my gosh, I love your cloak.
Oh, thank you.
Hello, my name is Molly. We're from the Inquisition. We heard that you were having some problems with some strange break-ins. We were hoping to lend a hand.
Well, I mean, that certainly was fast. It only happened this afternoon. I'm actually, fortuitously, one of the people whose house was attacked. Camille Mussat. She holds out a hand.
Hello, Camille. Introduce yourselves, boys.
Richard Feynman. I'll shake her hand.
Richard. Do you go by Richard, or is Dick acceptable?
Only Richard.
Certainly. And you are?
Habaru Escubigiriat. Hi, hello.
Oh, Habaru, that is a very unusual name. Anthalamirian, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that is correct.
Oh, haven't met many Anthalamirians this side of the border very often. They tend to pass on through and then head off to other places, I suppose. I do have to ask, do you have a preferred tense? Living? Deceased?
Currently living. And he thumps his chest.
Yep. I think all of us are living.
Correct.
One's debatable.
One's debatable. Oh, well, even more interesting. But I suppose not entirely unexpected with the intake into the inquisitorial squads recently. You've come to ask me some questions about the break-in. Did you need me to take you to my house so that you can see what other damages may have happened, or...
Oh, that would be very helpful, yes. As well as if you could give us any information on the other victims of the break-ins that you know.
Oh, certainly. You're looking for Professor Mira. I can show you a little bit. She's more into the ancient water tribes, into her dialects. Otherwise, yes, Professor Mina Bessinger. The other was, strangely, Master Gemini of the Abjuration Department. I had assumed that you'd been told. Did Cyan not reach out and pass on the information?
No, we found this out on our own. We haven't... I don't believe formal investigation has been declared yet. We're mostly doing preliminary right now.
Oh, understandable. I had just thought that squad leader Banner might have sent you over to, you know, move things along quicker.
Yeah, I think they're preparing for another mission right now.
Oh. Oh, well, I suppose that makes sense. I mean, a break-in where nothing seems to be stolen or no one was hurt and doesn't really get a lot of attention.
Definitely is strange, though.
All right, well, I just need to collect my bag and we can go to my townhouse.
Alrighty.
All right, yes. And you watch as she picks up a leather messenger bag, slings it over her body in a cross shoulder. You can see as she stands up what looked like a dark blue skirt. As she stands up, you see that it's actually very voluminous pants, Wicked, with very close-fitting. You see that it comes into a close-fitting tie at the ankles that cause it to kind of like balloon like a skirt, and you can see underneath a very nice pair of light brown leather boots that seem to come up to about mid-calf.
Ooh.
Yes, I have family back in the summer courts, so they do like to send some of our embroideries and things like that, clothing that I might not get here.
Yeah, I thought I recognized the summer courts.
Yes, these embroideries are particularly prevalent in Koshin.
Oh, you are rocking them right now.
Thank you. So, let's go, shall we? As she leads you out the door.
All right.
Real quick.
Yes.
Vegan.
Yes.
Do we as Inquisitorial Squad, do we have badges saying we're Inquisitors?
Yeah, you would have like a
Okay.
patch. Yeah, you would have a patch or somewhere visible.
I was gonna say, can we just go up to anyone and say, "Hey, I'm part of this"?
No, you are required to at least have an Inquisitorial patch, which you would have. So.
Okay.
It's just a little patch that you can kind of pin on. You can either sew it on, pin it on, as long as it's like a visible thing that people can identify you as an Inquisitorial. You do know, actually, let's see, shall we? For past make a past investigation, like an investigation to see what you remember about this patch. Why not?
God.
It's a badge. You just knew that you got given it and told to wear it somewhere.
Man, I didn't think my rolls could get worse.
Yeah, let's make it. Andrew, it must be that the dice roller must have known you'd picked another, like, investigator kind of character.
I'm not trying to be. I'm a 0 in intelligence. I swear. Oh, no.
Oh, dear. Okay. Every time, I have to admit, Kev, every time you go quiet, I just kind of imagine that Richard's standing near a wall somewhere just occasionally licking it. For some reason. I apologize.
If you want the gritty detail, I was cutting open a dog treat for my dog and I cut my finger, so I had to go disinfect and put a band-aid on. I only returned like 2 minutes ago.
Oh my god! Are you okay?
I caught the details of what we were talking about, I just was not able to speak. But Richard, for all intents and purposes, was certainly looking at a wall. He wasn't licking it. He's been told not to do that. Apparently it weirds people out or something. But
I mean, okay. Before you left, then, because you were distracted with dog treats, Richard, roll me a perception while you're standing and only partially paying attention to the conversation.
Perception. Oh. Yeah.
As you kind of drift over to one of the tables up against a wall, you notice that there's a strange stone. It looks really, really interesting. Something about it seems to, like, vibrate. Like, just even looking at it kind of makes your brain feel tingly and like it's vibrating your brain.
I'm gonna touch it. There's nothing you can do to stop me.
Okay. So,
I'm invested in the
Just
conversation.
quick question, gang. Who left Richard unattended?
I blame Haveru.
I'm in the middle of a riveting conversation. So
Where's my
clearly
handler?
So, Richard, you pick up this stone. It's a decent sized stone. Probably the size of like a box of, you know, not the really long like, not the really long matches, but the in between size, like not the tiny ones, but the in between size. Oh, that's the only way I just know how to describe this size to you.
Okay.
So it's about that size. Yeah, about palm sized. It is a dark grey stone, and it's kind of an obelisk shape. So it's kind of pyramid pointed at the top, but the sides are completely straight down, and quite rectangular at the bottom. And you notice that there's all these like carvings of different runes and seals like the engraving, not the animal.
Yeah.
I need to specify. But yeah, different runes and languages and stuff on it. And as you're running your thumb over the very worn surface of this stone, you can kind of feel like this jolt of energy passing through you. It's making all your fingers tingly, like right up into the tips of your horns, right down to the very very curved talons on the end of your wings, like even right down into your feet and your toes. Just everything. I mean, it's akin to nervous energy, like you're about to get the zoomies almost.
Oh.
Restless legs.
Restless legs. All right. Is it glowing or doing anything weird, or is it just sort of regular? Like the stone hasn't changed. It's just doing stuff to me.
I can actually show you what it looks like. Here you go.
Evil rock.
It's not glowing at all. It just feels really smooth in your hands, but something about it seemed to like call to you.
Okay. Sheesh. I'm just sorry. I was looking at my little spell sheet because I have identified, but I don't know if I can just outright use it or if it's going to take 10 minutes.
No, that's okay. I'll let you check because I know that you're new to the game, so this is the only way that you learn your spells.
It says casting time 1 minute.
Yep.
But it uses a spell slot. So I think, correct me if I'm wrong, gang, but you can cast Identify as a ritual, or you can use a spell slot to just use it as a spell.
Yeah.
Right?
If it's got a little R next to it.
Under components or under...
Let me have a look at your character sheet, shall we, Kevin?
I don't have an R next to it. I'm just checking where it should be.
There should be.
So I assume I can't ritual it at all.
Yeah.
But...
No. Identify has a little R. So the casting time, if you're...
I see where the R is. Okay,
yep.
Sorry,
if you're casting Identify as a spell, it takes a minute. If you want to cast it as a ritual, but it doesn't use a spell slot, it'll take you 10 minutes.
And what... Under components, it says I need a pearl worth at least 100 gold and an owl feather. Is that required?
It depends. Do you have a components pouch?
I do not.
Then you need to purchase a pearl and an owl feather, but they're not consumed by the spell. So once you've purchased them, you've then got them whenever you need them, basically.
Okay. Okay, cool. That's very useful for me to know.
Yes, it will.
Right.
A spell.
We had.
I believe that Warlock had just bought a pearl.
He did just buy a pearl worth roughly 100 gold.
It did.
Crazy. And he may or may not still have it.
He probably does still have it.
Yeah,
but I won't identify it in this case now that we've determined that I can't. I am just gonna say aloud, what the heck is this? Hoping to gain the attention of the scholar in the room.
Okay, so as you, well, at the moment, Camille and Wicked are in the middle of their conversation, so they don't hear you. However, Habaru does hear you because he was only
Yo,
past.
the second dumbest person in the squad. What up?
Hell
Let's figure
yeah,
this shit out
brother.
together.
Let's figure out what this is.
All right. Shit, this isn't what I thought it was. Never mind. I have no idea.
This shit is.
I
I would investigate it, but I'm shit.
I mean, you can certainly.
Let's roll them dice.
Oh, so what?
Right?
You'd like to investigate it, huh?
Wait, can I arcana it? Because it's
You
it's
can.
magic.
I mean, you can.
suppose.
You can arcana it. You can try and history it if you'd like to.
Checks what he has in history. Not a -2. Look, it's a -2 in either.
I am. Here, can I attempt to look at it and he help me?
Yeah, sure.
I would love to.
I would like to history check it, so that's gonna be rolling with advantage, right?
Yeah. So, Kevin, how are you helping him remember some history about what this could potentially be?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell him what my interpretations of the words are on there. And
You lick it.
I'm gonna be
You
like,
lick the
this
rock.
is what you know what I lick the rock.
Licks everything.
I lick the rock. I've been told not to lick walls. I've been told not to lick rocks.
Why are you
It's
licking the rock?
It's on the table, is why I'm doing it.
Okay, so you lick the rock.
And
okay.
then I tell
my
tell him
God.
what it tastes like, and then I tell him what the words taste like. And unsurprisingly, it tastes like dirt.
Yeah, pretty much.
Imagine the description you've given of how it's making him feel. I imagine he licks it and it tastes like TV static.
It tastes like my stomach hurts now.
Okay, so Habaru, Richard hands it over to you. As you
Wet.
look at it, wet.
I very
It's
gingerly
wet.
take it. Yeah, I'm trying to hold it.
I take it on the 3
Incidentally-
remaining dry sides.
I will allow you to roll a history check with advantage because his licking it has at least removed some of the dirt.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
If this
so-
goes into anyone's inventory, can they please call it licked rock?
Well, first off, we're not taking this thing. This belongs to the universe, to the magistratum.
Look, I don't view it as stealing.
But okay, well.
No one said you're a moral group. Let's point that out.
Oh my God, no.
So
People are gonna make
Habaru, as you
Yeah.
are looking at this rock, incidentally, you do actually recognize some of the symbols. You've seen a number of these symbols thanks to seeing a lot of them in one of your childhood friends' family home.
Oh, real shit. Okay.
Yeah, roll me a religion with advantage.
Oh, okay.
Purely because you've put a lot of it into your backstory. Yeah, you remember from your friend Connery. His family had a lot of these, a lot of books and things like this, very old books that seem to come from their family, that had markings like this, but it wasn't like the books were printed in this language or anything. It was like handwritten things in like margins at the start of the books that do seem to be very similar to these symbols. You know that a lot of them are usually, well, at least in reference to the gods of valor in GRAEDA. You also know that one of the symbols in particular on one of the sides you do recognize as the Chaos Maiden, Eris's symbol as well.
I'm defaulting back into
Roland.
voice and-
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I said that. I was like, oh wait, hang on.
All
one
right,
second.
god damn it.
Shit. Miss Camille.
Yes.
Chance. Where did you guys find this stone?
Oh, we found that stone in the ruins of Ishladore in the Anthelamirian Plains.
Have you guys had any luck deciphering what the stone reads?
Unfortunately, no. A lot of the texts are very, very difficult to understand. Unfortunately, we haven't managed to speak to anyone from the archives around Yggdrasil. A lot of them with the Ibrana and whatnot. Some of these symbols do seem to echo signs of religions from before the Starfall, before the merge, and things like that. Yes. The closest I've come is getting an audience with the head of the Sunwalkers. He and his companion seem to be, at least be somewhat a little familiar with some of these symbols and languages.
I've seen stuff like this before. This is for GRAEDA, the Valor God. This is for Polaris, the Chaos Maiden.
Oh.
I kind of grew up around some of this stuff. Would it be all right with you if I can take some pictures of the stone, just for my own personal exam?
Oh, of course, definitely.
Oh,
please do.
Thank you.
Any help we can have with deciphering it and whatnot would actually be very, very handy. As I said, at least even finding ideas that might have to do with GRAEDA and A.L.I.S.O.N is a lot. The religions are not very forthcoming with information since the merge.
Yeah. It's hard to ask a sleeping god something.
Well, it's not just that. It's not to disparage the Imperium. They want us to keep focusing forward, and, well, they have a fervent belief that even the scholars should be heavily leaning on the gods to at least, I don't know, have faith, give faith, be seen as aligning, which, I mean, I can't disagree with giving hope to everybody. It's been such a difficult time since the merge.
Okay.
She waits as you take the photos that you want to take.
Yeah, I will take the photos. And do I have Conley's number?
I don't know. Do you have Connery's number? What if you exchanged numbers, or did you break your phone and you basically have to send him the equivalent of new phone? Who dis?
No, I would probably have Connery's number.
Okay, you've got Connery's number.
Yeah.
Richard, as you're looking over his shoulder, you do briefly notice that he seems to be texting someone called King.
Wow, you just look over people's shoulders, Feynman, as they message someone? You never heard of privacy?
I don't understand these machines. I don't know what you're doing.
I mean, you're lucky. You can barely read, Feynman.
I can barely read.
You've got a 7, man. If you had a 6, you can't read, dude.
Yeah.
You would barely be able to talk, I think.
I know the name you're texting. I don't understand the words you're using.
You're using those big fancy words, learned man.
If you had one less point of intelligence, you'd be on par with a skeleton.
Yeah. I have a skeleton.
You do. Good job. I will text King real quick, and I'll just say, "Hey, idiot, do you still have any of the shit around your parents' place that look like this stone?" And kind of send them some pictures of it.
You see that the little symbol at the bottom at the moment does not light up, as in he hasn't checked his messages, so you might have to wait a bit. You do know that he's very busy with
doing things.
his things. Yes.
Yes. So yeah, I'm not expecting him to instantly reply back. I'm not that bitch. But I will take the wet end of the stone and rub it on Richard's shirt to kind of dry it off, and then put it back where he got it.
You hear a small kind of like sound of protest, but from Camille.
As Richard was just staring at a wall.
Richard,
Once
buddy,
again into the sweet void.
Don't put things in your mouth, man. Unless it's
Put it in my mouth. It was outside my mouth. I put my tongue out my mouth.
Well,
You
don't put
don't know where
your
it's
don't put your
been.
tongue on things. Yeah,
I know where it's been. It's been in the ground.
No, you don't. Where was it before here?
Ground. It's got dust on it. Let's be honest, gang. I've licked worse.
I don't want to hear that. That's no,
Not my-
Feynman.
Not my
That's
fault
not-
you're afraid of the truth.
Hello,
Very
evil
important
one.
people.
You've caught Kevin at a bad time. He's just licked a long stone.
This is an excellent time.
Oh my god.
Okay, so you very carefully put the stone. You very carefully put the stone back.
Look, all I'm saying, Evil One, is if you want to target Richard Feynman, just
Hello!
start poisoning rocks. Eventually he'll lick it.
Kevin, Scotty's in the chat.
He is in the chat. My
It's
main
traditional
man.
to lick rocks. So
Hey.
Kev, you and Scotty have officially licked rocks in my campaigns.
Hell yeah, rock lickers.
I mean,
surprised
if you
I
really
haven't licked
think
any
about
rocks
it.
yet.
Okay,
If you really think about it, salt is just a rock.
true.
Kind of is.
So, having taken the photos, Habaru, and sent them to King, you pocket your phone, your ethereal connector again, and we resume where we were. That you're going to leave, as Camille is going to take you to her residence,
Yes.
so that you can investigate the thefts. So,
Mm-hmm.
so, Richard, you notice that they're all going to leave. Are you joining them?
Yeah, oh no, I follow. I follow along. I've
You-
been given express instructions on how to get there, so I don't know where I'm going.
So you're just leaving the rock sitting there on the side table?
Yeah, I'm not stealing it.
Okay.
Does the DM want me to steal it? Because I will take it under advice.
No, it is completely up to you. I just got the impression before that you wanted to steal it.
I want to do a lot of things, but I've already licked it. I've defiled the rock enough.
For God's sake. Defiling rocks. We love that. Okay. So, you
That's
head...
the episode title.
Defiling rocks. Okay.
Oh dear.
I do like the fact that Warlock's going to come back and go, what the heck did you do? So, you make your way...
You do.
So you make your way out of the Scarlet Magisterium and follow Camille as she leads you down the road. Not too far away. Half a block away. And you see what appears to be a very nicely painted dark blue and cream painted townhouse. Off to one side, you can see that it's on a corner block, so off to one side you can see that there is a red brick courtyard wall and what appears to be the top of a glass conservatory off of one side of the house. It's about 3 stories, very tall, into this nicely nestled, very green place, and she leads you up the small staircase into the front entranceway. You can see that there is some yellow police tape next to the entrance that she kind of like ducks under. And you can see that she does struggle a bit trying to get her keys in the door. because even though she has managed to jam it locked, you can see the scrape marks and some gouges in the wood around it, where you can kind of assume that it's kind of been forced open.
Well, 2/3 of us can assume that.
At some point this afternoon, because it must have been between the time I came home for lunch at 1 and about 4, I received a call at about 4:30 from my neighbour, who said that they saw shadows moving in the conservatory. I naturally called the Inquisitors to come and have a look, and they found the door wide open. I managed to get it locked again, but I mean, I'm not really sure what they were after. There were papers and books thrown everywhere. The bedrooms were relatively untouched. I mean, beyond the mattress being tossed off the bed to look underneath it, a few drawers were rifled through, but once they thought they were clothes, well, I mean, unless they've taken, I don't want to know what out of my wardrobes, but they mostly seem interested in my conservatory and my husband's laboratory above.
What does your husband do?
He's a potion maker.
That being
So the
too
conservatory.
invasive, has there been anything your husband's been working on that would warrant a possible break-in like this?
Not that I can think of. I mean, he makes healing potions and whatnot for, the churches, the inquisitorial squad. Most of
Aren't
it
healing
is...
potions in short supply?
Yes, he's making them as fast as he can, but, well, we're just a small business. It's just him and his apprentice, but, I mean, there's only so many one person can make at a time.
Right. Do you know if he's interacted with any odd groups, any suspicious figures?
Define
Have you
odd.
noticed any suspicious or shady figures around your social circles, or have you ever been followed, anything like that?
Not that I've noticed. Over the last few weeks, we've been looking into a dig. We had been looking into a dig out in the wastes, out in Purgatory. We've managed to bring up a number of relics and things, like the stone you saw, lots of papers, journals, although none of them have the symbols that the stone does. Most of it is in ancient A.L.I.S.O.N, ancient Terran, all stuff from before the Starfall. I can't imagine what they were after. I mean, linguistics has never really been such a salacious type of well, there's not really anything too interesting in linguistics. I mean, the only reason I was called into this project, after all, is, as I said, my family is in Koshin, and we deal with the Chaldean languages from the Dragon Spine, which would have been ancient air realm back before the Starfall.
Alrighty. Well, would you mind if we take a look at the areas in question then?
Certainly, please do. If you go through here, and she points to the lounge area, just down the end of that, you will see that it leads into the kitchen, and then the conservatory is just beyond that. That's where I do most of my study. I've got a lot of bookshelves through there. They seem to be the ones most turned over. My desk whoever they were took a large number of my papers. I have special papers that lead to instantaneous communication with my mother in Koshin, but, well, beyond that, there's just a lot of books everywhere. Several of them are torn. I'm going to have to take them to the bookbinders to get them reset, but, well, I can't imagine what they were after.
You said some papers are missing?
Yes, just some papers seeming to refer to, certain religions from before the time of the Realm Witches or the Ascendant Gods. It's part of the reason why we reached out to the head of the Sunwalkers. I do know that he has a number of books and the like from before that time, family relics that he had housed in the Sunwalkers' archives.
Alrighty. And do you know if anything was taken from the laboratory?
Thankfully, they haven't actually attacked the lab. I mean, if it was something to do with the Ishladore dig, well, that's where they would have actually ended up being most fortuitous. But like I said, we've just had journals, the stone, things like that. I mean, we did find some other relics as well, but we've been keeping them mostly at the lab because it's temperature controlled and whatnot, and some of these relics are centuries old.
Is there anyone outside of the... Okay, this is an Andrew question. Is the Magistratum, is that like basically university?
It's a mage school, yeah.
Okay.
Mage university.
Is there any... Yes, is there anyone outside the university who would have knowledge of this? Was this a very well-known find that was covered in the news, or was this kind of kept on the down low, or just not really discussed outside of these scholastic circles you're in?
Well, anything that is from before the Starfall and things like that, particularly in Purgatory and Nethreg, they're very, very interested in things before the Starfall and whatnot. There are some here who had passed before the Starfall and are interested in seeing what became of their culture, or even reminders of their culture. So it has been in the historical pages of the newspapers a lot recently, especially once we started bringing up relics. So it could be, well, anything. The dead is often fascinated with the past, so anyone who has any knowledge that could have helped us, we did ask for any insights into it. Hello, Crumbs.
Crumbs, crumbs.
So yes, anybody could have found out about it. It's not like we were keeping it a secret. It's knowledge is generally best when it is shared.
Molly did seem a little bit lost when she was describing all of her like research and all the like intricacies and where everybody's from and all that. But she's doing her best to follow along. Wow, I think this is some good information. You have any other questions, Habaru? No. Richard, put that down.
But I
Do
like
not
it.
stick it in your mouth.
But I like it.
Nope. This belongs to people. Put it down.
If you would like, I can actually give you something edible to put in your mouth instead of... I'm fairly certain that's an iron ball that we throw out before we toss other balls at it, like bowls.
That sounds fantastic. Do you have any pasta?
I don't have pasta, but I do have some. Well, I'm not 100% of the translation. It's something that my mother used to make. And she goes over to the fridge and pulls out a glass container. It has a plastic lid on it that she brings over to you. Inside, you can see these little cone-shaped pastries that seem to have been baked. They're quite crispy and flaky. The inside does seem to be brushed. It is kind of glistening, kind of like it's brushed with a caramelized sugar. And you do notice that there is a yellow and orange compote that seems to be stuffed into it, similar to marmalade and things like this. And finally, it's just topped with what appears to be a very light, fluffy mascarpone cream with just a little bit more crystallized lemon peel on the outside of it.
I will take the container and then go to investigate the
contents of the container, sitting in a corner with your knees pulled up to your chest like the gremlin
No,
you are.
I'll look at the conservatory or whatever it was.
Okay, so you walk around munching on these lemony cornels.
I do notably not offer anyone to anybody else.
They're pretty good, Richard. They're sweet
They're good.
and
I know they're
citrusy.
good. I'm feeling it.
You've got a little bit of the happy good food dance like going on.
Exactly. Alright, and with that, I want to roll investigation with advantage.
Not with advantage. You can roll investigation. I've just realised you're Kronk, aren't you?
I'm not based on anyone.
No, but I've just realised the whole temperament and the way you're behaving. You're Kronk, aren't you?
I don't think so.
Kronk!
He's Kronk.
He's Kronk.
Kronk up!
As he's munching, he's humming to himself, which somehow seems to enhance the experience. As Richard, you're wandering around, and you.
I just find someone's ID on the floor. They left their driver's license.
A note
Sweet.
saying, "I did this. Here's where I live."
As you do, you notice as you're like humming to yourself, like as you're eating, and as you're mid-bite, your eyes are kind of drawn to an open book. You see that the shadows on the front, it seems the cover itself seems to be carved out, and there seems to be hands coming out of the recess inside it, seeming to grip onto this carved face and pull them back under the writhing mass. You can see.
Wait, like it's moving and I can see it doing that?
No, it just looks like it. It is a still.
It's like it's an image of it. Okay.
It's like, no,
I thought you just meant shadow hands pulled a mask into a book, and I'm like, all right, this got scary.
No, the front cover.
Start.
No, that's on the front cover. The front cover is
Okay.
carved, and that's what it looks like. However, what grabs your attention as you're like, and you just kind of hold the note for a second as you like come back to it and you swing back around to it, as you realize that there are a lot of really long words on the page that's open, but the thing you do seem to realize as you're looking at it is that some of the images are shifting and moving. Creatures that are entirely made of black ichor. They have very long limbs, and their body is positioned on top of this. They have long, spindly wings that seem to reach out behind them. You do notice, and the reason it grabbed your attention is one of them did actually seem to slide off the page like a crawler ghost and start to reach towards you. But as you looked at it, you kind of blinked and looked back, and it just seemed like a flat image on the page again.
Well, that book's scary. Wicked, can you read any of these words?
as far as Richard knows, it's just another pop-up book.
Exactly. But I don't recognize the words. I don't get it. I need an adult.
I'll look over Richard's shoulder.
I've been told that's
You
rude.
did. Okay, well,
I mean, you did tell him it was rude to read over your shoulder.
It did,
it's
but
rude to watch people text.
I'll allow it. I don't understand the difference.
Oh god.
Yeah, I will look at whatever Richard is looking at and try to figure it out myself.
Okay.
Liquid will follow.
What's up with the book, gang? That's the.
What's up with the book? What's up with the book? What's up with the book? Give me a second to make sure I've got the right name.
Don't forget. All right, we need a posture check and hydrate while Tegan's looking stuff up.
No pasta
Terrible.
check.
Hydration, dehydrated.
My
Okay.
preference for hydrating is 1/2 of a bottle of Great Northern.
Don't do that. Okay. Okay. So
My posture's not great because I'm on the floor, because my chair is really noisy.
On the
I will
floor?
Hydrate.
You're on,
Yes.
What do you mean you're on the floor? Like you're
I'm on the floor.
Are you using a laptop? Or are you just on the
Nope.
floor and you've got a desk
I-
with a
my-
monitor?
only half a bottle.
My
I'm gonna
monitor-
save the other half in case it gets redeemed.
my monitor is a TV that is on a coffee table, a low coffee table, so I'm able to see everything just fine from the floor.
Aha.
And my chair is too noisy, so I'm on the floor.
Alright, gang, the bit didn't work. I tried to sorry. Jesus. I tried to redeem a hydration station again, and you can't do it for 15 minutes. Fine. It helps me play Richard.
Hail hydrate, everybody.
I also have water.
Yes, that one.
Okay. So, as you pick up the book, Wicked, you find a passage in the book. You're not 100% sure what the actual whole book is about, just because there's no blurb or anything on it. But inside, on this page, with these shadowy figures that seem to be crawling, they've been sketched in such a way with a heavy hand, purely ink. There doesn't seem to, and it's quite a scratchy kind of style of art that makes it look like the images are trying to pull themselves from the pages. And you read, "Beyond a gulf in the subterranean night, a passage leads to a wall of massive bricks, and beyond the wall rises Iliathor, to be served by the tattered, useless figures of the dark. Long has he slept beyond the wall, and those which crawl over the bricks scuttle across his body, never knowing it to be Iliathor. But when his name is spoken or read, he comes forth to be worshipped, or to feed and take on the shape and soul of those he feeds upon. For those who read of evil and search for its form within their minds call forth evil, and so Iliathor returns to walk among men."
Oh.
Um,
Where'd you find this one? You didn't take this from the library, did you?
No. Feynman was stuffing spuds in his face, and he found this.
These aren't spuds. These are delicate pastries.
Some spuds in his mouth hole, and found this book on this page. Miss Camille, is this like of any importance?
Well, I mean, it is an older book. It's called The Revelations of Glarky.
Wait, of who?
Glarky.
Like malarkey?
I mean,
Glarky?
GLA apostrophe AKI. Glarky.
So yeah, like malarkey. Okay. not at all.
Yeah.
What is the importance of these revelations?
It's something that my family has passed down through generations, recording and re-recording so that the past is never truly forgotten. It's a book of prophecies and revelations surrounding the first war of the Ether and the creation of the Nethreg landscapes before it became known as Nethragar. It details the fall of the elder entities and the creation of the first demons following the rebellion of the Eldritch Titans against the Empyrean gods. They speak about the way that the infernal landscapes were created as a gateway to the divine prison between the landscapes of the realities, and the appointment of Asmodeus, the betrayer, as their jailer. It's a lot of prophecies and whatnot, but it doesn't really hold much importance since a lot of the prophecies that were denoted in it and a lot of the tales that were once told were thought to come to pass when the merge happened.
Who would know your family has this book?
Well, very few. The Chaldea are very, very secretive about who knows our knowledge and who to pass it down. Part of the reason that we trust the Sunwalkers so is the Chaldean history is heavily tied into their original creator.
To backtrack for a second, you said when the merge happened, most of the prophecies had already come true, correct? Or have been fulfilled?
Yes. The only thing that really was not seen to pass as it had been indicated was the heroes in question stopped the merge. They destroyed the Titan King. So all of the prophecies around it were the rising of the Titan King. And, well, when the heroes intervened, including the Valor God GRAEDA, well, it stopped. Well, yes, the merge happened. It did change reality, but not in the way that many prophets and fortune tellers had foreseen.
I suppose it makes sense. If the merge would disturb magic in such a way, then it must have disturbed the prophecies.
Magic was certainly different after. There are a number of historians that believe that the Dark Ones, who led the Loriodoran unitary state, their original forms of mining of the ether were problematic, and it's thought that potentially, especially since the rise of magic seeming to be slowly dwindling, that perhaps they might have damaged Yggdrasil itself.
Classic big companies.
Well, it's very fortuitous that the heroes unveiled the Dark One's schemes and stopped the Titan King. I don't like to think what would have happened had he risen to true power, especially with the Empyreans long gone.
Well, it has been a nice history lesson.
It's what I'm good at.
And you are clearly very passionate about it.
Real quick, I feel like I'm hyper-fixating on the wrong thing, but it's nothing I can think of. When Feynman found the book, what was the page that had been opened to again?
It was open a little over halfway. I'll show you. Here we go. You get a handout.
Oh, what a joyful looking book cover.
I told you.
That's cool.
Okay. Tegan, this is a major problem for me because I feel like this is a bunch of stuff I, as a player, am vaguely aware about, and it's poking some neurons in my brain that are saying, wait a minute, we know something, and the other neurons are going, no, we don't, and I'm going, fuck, what do I know?
The best part is, even there are some bits that will trigger in your brain as we start out the initial parts of this campaign, and they will trigger your brain, but I can guarantee you, this book and the information contained within this book, you never got this far.
Okay, thank God. 'Cause I would hate for me to be looking at this thing and going, oh, I have no idea, and for you to be like, Andrew, we've talked about this thing like 20 times in like several campaigns.
Oh, I wouldn't do it this
Okay.
time around. You're playing Habaru. Habaru doesn't know anything, so I won't treat Andrew like he does.
Oh, thank God.
Because chances are Andrew can't remember.
Chances are Andrew doesn't know shit. Okay. Well, Feynman, good job eating your spuds. I think you found an important clue. Too bad I don't fucking know what the clue is.
I haven't been following along for the past 10 minutes of conversation. That's in character. I've been listening, but out of character I've been listening, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I got you.
You got me? Excellent.
Don't worry, buddy. Just try not to drop too many crumbs.
Who's holding the book?
Probably me.
Can I'm turning the book face away from so I just can't see it.
Don't worry,
Lightly
buddy.
in your hands. I'm just slowly rotating it away so I don't have
Yeah,
to look at it anymore.
Yeah,
Because
I'll
the
turn.
face on the front, the eyes seem to follow you as you walk around the room, Richard.
I don't like it. I don't like any of it, honestly. I don't like the face on the side that's like a person trying to get out. I don't like a lot of what it's doing.
For those who read of evil and search for its form within their minds, call forth evil, and so A.L.I.S.O.N returns to walk among men.
This seems terrible. Were there pages missing from this book?
Not of this book, no.
Ooh.
It was just I just noticed it present.
Yes.
Okay.
Do I know who A.L.I.S.O.N is?
Roll me a history.
And make sure it's on normal. Miss Camille, who's A.L.I.S.O.N? Because I probably don't know off of fucking 12.
You kind of vaguely do recall it, because as you have stated in your backstory, with the family that you'd been raised with, some of the stories that that Connery talked about was they were always kind of shady on, like, they were obviously very devout to GRAEDA, but they were always kind of shady as to, like, exactly how or why they followed GRAEDA. But when you were very much younger and young boys with looking for bragging rights, Connery kind of did, like, reveal the secret to you that you were kind of, that his family was, like, related to GRAEDA, which he took a great pride in, and he kind of, like, turned around and said that's why he was going to be a hero one day, just like the other men in his family.
Okay.
He seemed to take great pride that he was going to be following in GRAEDA's footsteps, unlike his cousin Roland, who didn't seem to be good at anything, but for whatever reason he was named after, like, someone important in the family, and he seemed a little to disparage this Roland a lot.
Didn't we all?
But you wrote this. However, he did tell you, Connery did tell you a lot of stories. So you vaguely recall a story that GRAEDA had taken on the reason the name Iliathor kind of seems familiar to you is you kind of recall it being one of the stories of GRAEDA.
Okay.
Yeah. It's my own fault for not turning the sound off on my phone. I apologize to everybody whose eardrums were just blown out by my phone being very close to my microphone.
Oh, we didn't hear it.
Oh no, I'm talking to the stream, which my phone is sitting right next to my very powerful microphone.
Sucks to suck, nerds.
Yeah, be a player next time, stream. Come on.
Rude.
You don't have to deal with this.
However,
Just roll up your character sheets and just jump in.
however,
That would be a nightmare.
Oh god.
However.
so you remember stories of Iliathor somehow relating to GRAEDA.
Okay. I'll be honest. Goddamn, do it again. I'll be honest, Miss Camille.
You grew up in the same area, so it makes sense that you probably have Roland's accent.
And
Yeah.
mannerisms.
No, not mannerisms, just accent.
I was gonna say, mannerisms.
Well, isn't his family right there? They probably have similar mannerisms, right?
No?
He wasn't raised within the same family, but they grew up in the same area, so.
I'll close the book and I'll hand it back over to Miss Camille. It seemed like they were looking at this book pretty intently. I mean, it seems kind of important, especially since it sounds like there's no other copies of this book.
I mean, not really. Like I said, it's a copy of a copy that my people had
Oh.
taken. It's
What happened to the original copy?
it's in the Iberana. As I said,
What's
the Vanishing Library of Avani.
Oh, the library. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Andrew had a dummy moment. What do you mean a dummy moment? Okay. And no one really knew you would have this book.
Not a lot of people know that I'm from Koshin. As I said, the Chaldeans are very secretive. We only let in those we wish to find us.
Okay. Well, we might stop by your colleague's place here in a moment to get some evidence from there, but we'll, if you don't mind, poke around a little bit more.
Of course, take your time. I believe Mr. Feynman has roughly half a tub of cookies left to go through.
Yeah, I would probably be about that.
Yep, clock's ticking before he starts. Anyway.
Before I start, what is Richard Feynman also lactose intolerant?
I don't know. Are you lactose intolerant? Would you like to be
I don't
lactose
know.
intolerant?
I don't know if I'd like that.
Do you
I don't know
enjoy?
if I need to bring that problem into D&D.
Coin toss?
Do you like some of the old Solon milk?
Excuse you? The what?
Solid milk. We kind of got around to calling cheese solid milk in one of the campaigns.
Oh god, it sounds. Ugh. I'm in war flashbacks. Okay. How do we want to do this? Do we want to help each other investigate? First off, who's the smartest one here? It's not me and Richard, is it?
It's easily Richard.
I have
Easily.
a +1 to intelligence.
All right, I will help you investigate so you get advantage. Roll
Wait, what do
well.
you have?
All right.
What do you have?
An
I
11.
have a 0. I have an 11.
Alright, if you had a negative, we could team up because I've also got a negative, therefore it would become positive.
That's
No.
not how that works.
That's how that works.
That's only in multiplication. This is adding.
No.
Do you know who would have been really good in this situation?
Warlock.
Warlock.
Yeah.
Warlock would have been like, beep boop bop, here's a clue, idiots.
Hey, I
Like,
rolled the nat
"Yay."
20. All right, leave me alone.
You
I'm
did.
helpful.
You did.
Yeah, yeah. Congrats. Enjoy your spuds.
We didn't drive him into a train.
Throw him to
all
stuff.
that intelligence, and he didn't know how physics worked. What a scrub.
I was gonna say, how high is his wisdom?
Uh,
What are we investigating, Drew? We're investigating The
The
book?
Basically, the scene of
observatory
the
still?
crime.
just everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, just like the immediate area.
okay.
Or at least that's what I think me and Wicked are planning on doing.
Well,
Alright,
for
you
the
two
sake of this,
investigate that.
yes,
I'm gonna investigate the bottom of the
cookie jar.
Tupperware I've got.
Habaru, Wicked, both roll me an investigation to see if you find anything else.
Can I
Alright.
help Wicked so they get advantage?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Okay, 17.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't look at it. Don't look at it. It means nothing.
As
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah. It's not real. It's not real.
as you look all over this kind of room that Camille is has let you into, the reports of the news seem to be relatively clear that there is. I mean, as Camille points out to you, nothing of importance seems to be taken. All of the statuettes, figures, relics that she did have, some of them have been tossed off the shelves, but most of them seem fine. One or two might be broken, but they're not stolen. She says that all of her books and documents are accounted for, that she can tell. So, for the most part, Wicked, the most important thing seems that seem to have been shown interest in is this book that has the creepy face on it.
I have a quick question. Does anyone else come into this room often besides you? Does anyone handle any of these?
My husband and I eat in here occasionally, breakfast and things. The sun coming through is nice before the humidity of the day settles in, but beyond that, we don't have a lot of guests. I mean, very, very occasionally we might get my husband's family, my in-laws, come to visit, but I mean, they haven't been for several months now.
Right. But in the conservatory specifically?
Specifically, it's mostly just me and Miles.
Alright. I have an idea. Since it's still a pretty fresh crime scene, this should probably work. Do you have anything that belongs to your husband? I'm gonna try and see if I can find any sense in the area.
Certainly, I can. How personal does it need to be?
If you can show me to his room, his bedroom, that should be fine.
You want to see my bedroom?
I just need to know what he smells like so I can filter it out.
All right. She seems a little concerned that you want to
Oh.
smell her husband.
Oh, sorry. I'm druidic. I was gonna wild shape.
Into my husband.
No, into a hound.
Oh, certainly, of course, yes. If that's certainly, if you'd like to follow me, I can show you to the master bedroom.
Alright. And she will wild shape. You see as she she seems to shake and like vibrate for a second, and you just hear as she seemingly just puffs and evaporates into a cloud of spores, and all these spores congeal and condense into a single little mushroom that falls into her little cauldron and a few seconds later, you see a little nose stick out of the cauldron, and a full dog crawls out of it. A bloodhound crawls out of the cauldron.
Richard and Habaru, because you don't usually work with Wicked, this is actually the first assignment you've been put together. You watch as a little black wet nose and a big pair of floppy ears and large brown eyes peer out at you.
Is it inappropriate to pet the dog?
Don't pet our teammate. Don't make it weird.
Look, if Richard doesn't understand that Warlock is the van, I don't think that he understands that Wicked is the dog.
Wait,
This is
hang
just
on,
a-
hang on.
this is
the
just
fuck
a
on.
household
Are you saying
dog
you
to
don't
me.
have object permanence?
I have object permanence. It's just the object changes. It's not the same as
Are you
object
just-
permanence.
You just watched Wicked turn into the dog.
You assume I watched that. I'm face into the cookies at the moment, brother. I am.
I will point out this is a very small cauldron, far too small for a full dog to fit into, and she just crawls out of it.
I assume it's the household dog.
Camille leaves the room and takes you out back into the entryway and up a set of stairs. Up 2 sets of stairs up to the 3rd floor, where you can... One room that seems to be closed off. You can smell powders and smoke and metals and just the slight sizzle of magic burns at your nose as you're smelling it. But she turns left at the top of the stairs and leads you into what appears to be the master bedroom. It has an ensuite off to one side, but the room itself is in shades of dark blue and gold. There seems to be star patterns painted onto the ceiling. The bed itself is a very nice, plush, soft-looking bed with a doona on it that is covered in different shades of blue. There are pieces that are dyed in like gradient patterns that also seem to have embroidered constellations all over the top of it. You can see that there are some very comfy looking feather pillows at the top of the bed, and there are plants everywhere. Dozens and dozens of shelves that have hanging plants, dangling plants, plants of weird colours, some plants that seem to move and seem to follow you as you move around the room, things like that. You do notice it in a dark corner. There is, in a dark corner near the ensuite, there seems to be a small wall with a whole heap of rotted wood creating like a back frame to it, and you do see a number of different types of mushrooms and fungus that are growing on it.
Ooh. Alright, she takes note of those for a little longer than she should, but sort of shakes her head and gets back to the task at hand.
Camille goes over to the bed, takes one of the pillows off of the bed and holds it down to you.
Alright, she'll give it a good whiff, make sure she's got that ready to filter that out.
You got that
get a whiff
man stank.
Oh.
Damn. And then she'll move on to sniff Camille's hand, make sure she's got that marked down as well. And she will return
Roll
back to
me perception with advantage because of the smell check.
Yep. Why am I not proficient in that?
I don't know if you usually have a proficiency, but because you're a dog, you have advantage on
Alright.
you have advantage on perception checks with smell.
Yeah, alright. 24.
They smell like people. The smell that is Miles does have a lot of this mustiness, and you get the smell of like chopped herbs. It's almost a little bit grassy. there's very bright notes to it. Yes, man stank, evil one. There are bright notes. It's very grassy. There's a bit citrusy. Underneath it all, both Camille and Miles have a very slight undertone. It's barely perceptible, even to you in dog form. The smell of dead flesh.
Nothing to look into there.
Well, that's none of my damn business.
It's very faint, even to your dog senses. It's very faint and imperceptible.
Yeah. Molly will give a nod to Camille, like, all right, I got it. And we'll make our way back to the conservatory.
Yep. You make your way down to the conservatory. Richard, the dog re-enters. They have soft floppy ears. Their tail is held high as their nose reaches for the ground as they start sniffing. They look like a really happy dog. Richard has he left his desk again? Why do I get the impression he's left again? God damn it, Kevin!
He's busy with the spuds he's stuffing.
I get the impression he's walked off for a second. Wicked, as you are sniffing around, you do pick up the smells that you smelled on Camille and of her husband Miles, but roll me an investigation with advantage, because again, you're basing it on smell.
All right. Let's go. 18.
You're sniffing around this room. There is lots of the smell of Camille and Miles around this room, but layered over all of it. I mean, it was a barely perceptible smell on Camille and her husband's pillow of this faint, like dead flesh. But this isn't just the hints that are touching every surface that was turned over. Even the book, even the creepy book, it all smells like dead, rotting flesh, and it's strong, like to the point that it's even pervading and sticking to Habaru and Richard, making them start to smell like it just by being in proximity to this smell. Almost like if the air itself had an oily quality to it, it's starting to coat all of you just by being in here.
Does it seem to lead anywhere outside of this room?
It doesn't seem to go anywhere in the house. You seem to be following it, but you do notice that whoever it was left through the front door and back door. As it has not yet rained, but you can smell the electric iron tang of lightning on the air, which must be the incoming storms that are going to be arriving later in the evening. But you do notice that the fetid dead smell seems to actually cross the street, directly across the street, and keep heading eastward. But unless you're going to cross the street and continue following it, you do notice that it does disappear out into the street.
She'll give a woof that she's found something, but once she notices that it dissipates and doesn't seem to go anywhere else, she'll return back to the home.
Habaru. Papa Wicked returns. The dusty bone returns.
I am alive. I just want to say in my defense, we did not have our 10 o'clock break, and I needed the bathroom.
Oh no, that's what I figured.
I was like,
sorry.
I thought it was a very innocuous time to sneak off, and I'm like, oh no.
The question is before, well, at the moment, Wicked is still a dog. Do we want to quickly just take 5 minutes?
Now that Kevin has gone on his break. Yes, we'll take our break.
Okay.
You would.
All right, we'll just
That's
take
fine.
a quick 5 minutes because I myself also need to go to the bathroom. So we will be back in 5 very short minutes. Let's go.
Did you all get your breaks?
Did you all get your breaks? Welcome back, everybody, to Equinox, as everything loads in. Why are we not picking me up talking? Hello, there we go. Yay! Welcome back, everybody, to Equinox. So, because we took a really late break, I hope everyone got a break. I hope you got something to drink. I hope you got something to eat. I hope you went to the bathroom. Because, Wicked, you have returned to the conservatory where Richard Feynman is running a finger around the bottom of a Tupperware container, collecting the last of the icing, sugar and crumbs. Thank you, Kevin, for redeeming the hydration station.
No worries, that's my present from me to me.
Are you saying that you want to drink more?
I'm drinking stuff.
Glug, glug, glug.
Okay.
Can we communicate with this dog?
No, the dog cannot speak.
Well,
Unless you have
say things through the dog.
I mean,
The
you
dog
can.
understands that.
The dog can understand you.
I can speak at the dog. I'll say hello, dog.
Hello, dog.
Hello, dog. How are you? I get nothing.
The dog.
Nothing in return.
The dog evaporates into a cloud of spores.
Oh no, I killed it!
Oh no, now we've got
Little-
spore lungs.
The spores will congeal back into the vague shape of Molly, and just a reverse puff sound effect as she returns to normal.
Okay, I see. This has happened in front of me, so I have to be aware of it now. This is forced understanding.
Yes. So,
I found a little something of a trail, but it seemed to dissipate pretty quickly.
What did it smell like?
It smelled like the dead.
Is Habaru anywhere around?
I'm still there with you.
he never left you. He's still standing in the room with you, watching you devour a man's weight in crystallized lemon and pastry.
You
Yeah, I mean, it's
you
it's a
enjoying
good,
your spuds, bud?
good pastime. I did. Can we ask is the owner around? I'll ask her if she knows any undead people.
Okay.
I mean, of course she does. There's a lot of people. Does she know anyone who's undead that would be interested in that book specifically?
She has already answered that question to you.
Has she? Damn
Yes.
it. No, specifically undead though, because she said not a lot of people know about it.
But oh no, she's not specifically about the book. No, the book actually. Sorry, I stand corrected. So
yeah.
okay,
Does she know anyone's like? Because I'm trying to narrow down fields here.
okay. So Camille re-enters the room while you're doing this and gently takes the empty container from you.
I'm sad about that. Not necessarily. More that the container's empty.
Okay. She goes
They
and
were
starts.
very good.
Oh, thank you. Like I said, it was my mother's recipe.
Do you know anyone who is undead that would be particularly interested in that book we found?
Not that I can think of.
Does anyone else have any other relevant questions?
Can I?
Yes, no, not that I can think of. I mean, it's a bit of a weird reference to look back at Merge Titans. Mm-hmm.
Can I? It's big. Can I insight that?
You may.
Okay. 10.
It was definitely one of the things she said.
She looks a little nervous. You can see that she seems to, even though she has just rinsed out the container, she seems to be scrubbing it a lot. She is not making eye contact. As you asked, her hand shook a little bit. But she kind of like went on going, no.
Are you okay, Miss Camille?
Oh, yes. I just forgot some things at the lab, that's all. I just remembered it somehow. Seeing the bottom of this container reminded me that I needed to go and look into some of the translations, that's all.
Camille, if there's anything you know, you can tell us.
I mean, I don't think it would be pertinent to this investigation. The people that show an interest have been showing an interest, have interest for an entirely different reason. I don't think that they would have done this.
Who is they?
It's nothing. They don't. They have their own reasons for wanting to investigate the artifacts of the merge. Like I said, I don't think that they're responsible. My in-laws are just history files. They want to know a lot about the artifacts that came before the merge and things like that. But beyond that, for example, if they had asked about this, the only reason I've got this here is they had already asked to see it. And they wouldn't break in to steal it from me, that's for sure.
I see. Well, you are truly still busy with something. We don't want to keep you.
You're welcome to come to the lab and look at any of the artifacts we've found. We are still pulling up documentation and things like that.
That would be great.
Well, in about 2 weeks, we'll be having another delivery from the dig site coming in by train. So when it starts to come in, I'll let you know, and you can come and have a look over the artifacts if you're really interested.
Ooh, that sounds like fun. All right. Well, if there's anything you need, or if anything else comes up, any new information, or remember anything,
You'll be
go
the
ahead and
first to
let us
know,
know.
of course.
Yeah. All right. You have a good day. We'll get out of here.
Certainly.
All right. That's good. No, fine. Put that back. She just watched it. There's no more.
Feynman.
So you make your way outside. She thanks you for your time and your fastidiousness in the investigation. She gives you one of her business cards. It says Camille Massart on the top. Just so that if you need to, you can contact her. And she gently closes the door behind you.
I think she knows a little bit more than what she's actually telling us.
Probably.
Well, she's a scholar. She knows a lot more than she told us.
You know what I mean, that she knows something that she doesn't want to tell us.
Don't make that assumption of him.
Okay, you're right.
Then he knows.
yeah. What a mean thing. Not wrong. Right, so did we get the directions for the other
Nope.
scholar?
You were told who they were. You were never given the directions to their houses.
I'll knock on the door again.
It takes a minute. You do see through the glass that Camille kind of just... You vaguely make out the shape of a figure crawling away a little bit, standing up, and then returning to the door. You're back already.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
I'm so sorry about this. I should have asked before we left. What's the address of the other professor who got broken into their house?
There was Professor Mina. Her house is one street over from Phileas Brandroot's clinic. And then if you also needed to, Master Gemini, her house is a little bit further down, just near the entrance to the inner quarters. Over at I will put a little marker because I don't actually have street numbers, so I do apologize.
Okay, I was gonna ask, like she'll
fair.
give us like an actual street address, like in the house number, right?
Yeah, I will put a little marker in for you.
She'll give us fantasy number.
Fantasy numbers.
They're in
Street address.
Yes. So Professor Gemini's is here, and the other one, Professor Mina, is over here.
Hey, we got some weak points.
Yep. And if I don't label them, you won't remember next week.
Correct.
I'll remember just fine.
So she gives that. She thanks you for your time again. Gently closes the door. This time you see the shadow walk away from the door.
Alright. Well, I guess I should start with the professor. It's a little closer.
I will follow wherever they go.
Okay. So you make your way through the streets to Professor Mina's household. On the way past, you pass by a shrine. It's a small stone shrine. 4 columns with a stone roof over the top, and just seated within appears to be a turtle holding what appears to be almost like an oval-shaped egg. The turtle is carved out of stone, but it is a turtle monk sitting cross-legged, giving a sign of peace while it holds the stone.
Turtle Buddha.
I didn't realize what the actual turtle would sound like to you, who has no context of the world. Turtle Buddha.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, pretty much.
I figured it was a turtle. But...
It is a turtle. It is a turtle. Looks kind of vaguely a little bit like Master Oogway.
Yes.
Wicked, roll me a
That's good.
religion.
Oh boy.
This is
Oh, boy.
just Dusty's crash course into the gods of the world.
It's coming. 14.
You know that this is a shrine to Barky, the balance god. but the entity seated within that are depicted within a lot of the shrines is known as Naishing the Peace Father.
Turtle Buddha.
Otherwise known as an evil one creation who is purely terrifying in build. For those who don't know, he was a 10 levels Tranquility Monk, 10 levels Wild Soul Barbarian.
A Tranquility Monk. Oh god.
Yep, half. He is the god of balance and order, as well as the patron saint of cage fighters. Hi, Valcor. We miss you. You're terrorists now, apparently.
That was bound to happen.
So,
Anyway.
yes,
Don't
Turtle.
all say hi to Velcor at once.
Poor Clint. I hope you're feeling okay, buddy. So, yes, you recognize the shrine to the balance god, Rexcellent. I assume that's supposed to be excellent. You just mistyped an E. Well, I'm glad you're feeling okay. Yes, Saw. I did wonder about that. You're barely with it, I assume. I hope you feel better soon, buddy. We miss you already. So, you're in the shop figuratively and literally right now. So yeah.
Sorry.
So, Wicked.
Yes.
Ah, do have grippy socks.
Oh.
The grippy
I know
sock
those.
crew.
I've had those before. They're
Ta-
funny.
Ty will be so happy to hear that on Monday. We know how Ty feels about a good grippy sock. Either way.
Too into it, if you ask me.
So, yes. Wicked, you recognise that this is a shrine to the balance gods, Naishing the Peace Father, who is about, above all things, balance in the world. You live in one, an evil one. Great. It's not good to slide around on a floor with when you've got grippy socks, so. But yes. So you continue on your way through the streets until you reach Professor Mina Bessinger's house. You see that it is a very tall townhouse, another 3-story townhouse. It is looking a little bit more ramshackle than the one you saw that belonged to Camille and Miles. Where Camille and Miles was very well kept. It was certainly not new, but it was very well maintained. This does not have the same level of care that has been given to it. You do notice that it's looking quite ramshackle. It is in definite need of a paint job. That a lot of the paint on the weatherboards is chipping a little bit. You can see that the front yard is overgrown. And the windows, at least on the top 2 floors, are a little bit murky looking, a bit dirty.
Alright, who wants to unact this time?
Did I do it
Alright,
the first
I guess
time?
I'll knock.
I was gonna say, I think you should go ahead. I did it last time.
So who's
I
knocking?
accosted the goblin.
Okay, so Habaru... No, Wicked's knocking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I will knock.
Okay, Wicked.
5 minutes. Your turn next time.
Wicked, you knock. There does not appear to be an answer. The door does swing open slightly on the hinges, as you can see that the lock has been smashed in.
Oh.
I will.
Go ahead.
I'll kind of push the door open a little bit, and I'll listen in to see if there's any sound from inside.
A roll of perception.
God fucking damn it!
It's quiet and dark, Habaru.
I will
Did you say dark?
You scared of the dark? Seriously?
No. I have.
Go on.
I have dark vision.
Ah!
Oh shit, I have dark vision. Like, wow, first time I'm not a human. Gang gang. What up? Okay. I'll pull out my revolver. I'm gonna kind of step into the house, and I'll just call out.
Freaking grung gang.
Hello?
Your voice echoes slightly through the building. You keep your ears pricked. Roll another perception.
Molly will follow. Has a wooden shield and is brandishing a very intimidating looking broom.
Habaru, you're looking around. As Molly steps over... Wicked steps over the threshold, the floor creaks, scaring the absolute bejesus out of you as the floor shifts slightly, as the fading light causes dust motes to kind of swirl in the afternoon evening light. As you fail to notice, but Wicked, you do see it. There is a rustle of wings, a screech, and a white owl swoops at Habaru. Just... I'm not going to do the scream because I will burst out my mic.
Aggressive.
It's more of a... as it
Yeah.
dives,
No.
yeah.
Oh, god damn it. Okay.
You are surprised by this, Habaru, because you didn't see it coming, because Wicked scared you.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I will walk back out of the house. Like, I'll have it like one arm up, just kind of waving off the owl. And I'll put my gun away and I'll walk out.
The owl is screeching and like trying to like attack your hair, Habaru. Wicked, as he walks past you, the owl seems to kind of wheel about and kind of like try to ward you off as well.
Not proficient in animal handling. Do I have... No, I don't have that spell prepared. Okay. Wicked's just gonna try and give it its space and like walk around it as she surveys the area. Use the flashlight on her phone.
It is not perturbed, but as you fail to retreat the same way Habaru did, the owl wheels about and perches itself a little higher up on one of the banisters and just watches you with yellow eyes that seem to catch the light in an odd way as it just watches you intently. Its feathers all bristling, making it appear like it's twice the size that it is.
I am familiar with their display. Alright. What exactly do we see in here?
It is a dusty house. It's not well maintained. To the point that you can kind of see footprints in the dust.
It's a me house?
Okay, yeah. It's a dusty house. On the sideboard on the way through the door, you can see that there are a number of envelopes that have been placed there. But the house itself is dark. There's currently no... It appears that there's at least currently no... It at least appears like there's currently no one home.
Can you shift into an owl or something and talk to the owl?
I can't do anything that complex.
Can I try and make friends with the owl?
Do you want to come inside?
Yeah, I'll go make friends with the owl.
Fine
Okay.
Man, I don't think the owl will recognize that you're a fine man.
What about animal handling?
You
I'm gonna try and offer it like a cracker or something out of my rations.
you enter in holding out a cracker. Roll me animal handling.
Can I use my
Terry.
Please.
You can certainly use your inspiration.
17?
Holy shit.
Wonderful.
As you start to edge your way in, the owl bristles again, looking ready to attack you, Feynman. But as you hold out a cracker, a buttery, delicious cracker, its eyes seem to fixate on it. As the owl changes the trajectory of its swoop to land on your arm and steal the cracker out of your hand, using one of its feet to bring it to its beak.
Oh, that's excellent. What do you do with owls? You don't pet them.
I like the idea that you've just fed this owl a cracker. Now you're holding your arm out going, now what do I do with it?
I have it, gang. I'll give it
fact.
another cracker to try and subdue it once it's
Well,
eaten.
don't, Feynman,
Don't-
don't do anything to the bird.
Don't give it too many crackers.
How do I
they're
make it my
carnivores.
friend?
Keep feeding it.
Well,
But give it meat. Don't give it too many crackers. It's a carnivore.
I'll give it jerky as well then.
You give it some jerky and you watch as its sharp beak and talons tear it to little strips as it tilts its head back and swallows them whole.
Dude, I'm lucky I got scales. Like, this thing would fuck up my arm.
I think it's
Yes,
time we take a modern approach to modern problems. I'm gonna call Camilla real quick and say, hey, I need the phone numbers for Professor Mina and Master Gemini. Because, we're going to other places and we don't want to break and enter.
Too late.
Too late. She gives you the number, but as you're standing there with this bird, God, that's where we're going to end tonight's session with you, with those numbers.
We're gonna end with Richard Feynman he's using one of his fingers to rub the bird and give him like little chin
Rub its
scratches.
rub its little, like it's the chest pieces, yeah.
Yeah.
So that is where we will end tonight's session. God, all I can think of at the end there with Richard Feynman is the meme of there are two types of people. Someone who's got like the little sparkler and just waving it and making pretty pictures, and in the background Richard Feynman runs across with a bird. Someone has given me fire!
Oh yeah.
So on that note, thank you to everybody who tuned in. It has been great to have you here through all of our technical difficulties and whatnot. Valcor, I'm glad you're feeling better, or at least you're feeling okay. I'm glad you have some grippy socks. Evil One, thank you for joining us. It's always a pleasure to have you. If Crumbs is still here, may Bongo judge you too. On that note, everybody, we will be back next Saturday. We will see if you are joined by Namo next Saturday. We'll meet someone new. Maybe be arrested. Let's see if you're thieves next week, not just terrorists. That'll be interesting.
No, never.
To everybody who is watching, I hope you have a wonderful week. Get plenty of rest, drink plenty of water. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you are in the world. And we will see you, if you are able, on Monday for more Ignition Point to see what happens after the events of their loss. If not, we will see you next Saturday for more Equinox. Otherwise, have a great week. We love you. Bye, guys.